Let's go, Eagles Nation. Hold on tight, because the countdown has officially begun, and I feel like a stadium clock, just waiting for kickoff. The calendar might say we still have a few months to go, but my green and white heart is already beating like it's game day at the Link. Our team is locked in, the gears are turning, the energy is electric behind the scenes, and trust me, big things are brewing. There's movement happening in those NovaCare halls, decisions being made at the top, and that buzz only true Eagles fans can feel. But before I drop all the inside info I've gathered, and believe me, it's spicy, smash that like button. But only if you've been an Eagles fan for over 19 years. If you've been riding with us since the days of Brian Dawkins, Donovan McNabb, and you screamed your lungs out during the Philly special, this one's for you. And if you were in the stands back in the 70s, mad respect, you are the soul of this fan base. Now do me a favor, drop a comment saying, "Go Birds, my heart bleeds green and white." Let's fly even higher, because trust me, the first piece of news I've got today is gonna shake things up. Go Eagles! Howie Roseman just pulled the trigger on another roster move, and it's all about speed. With the Eagles battling a wave of injuries at wide receiver DeVonta Smith, dealing with back tightness, Danny Gray nursing a finger injury, and Terrace Marshall heading to the medical tent during practice, it's no surprise the front office acted fast. Philadelphia brought in wide receiver F.I., a name some fans may remember from earlier this offseason. He was with the team briefly, then got looks from both the Falcons and Giants. And now he's back wearing midnight green. Adai is an electric athlete. He played his college ball at Sam Houston State and was used as a weapon all over the field. In 2024, he logged 30 catches for 271 yards and a score, plus 9 carries for 76 yards and another touchdown. Gadget plays, jet sweeps, end arounds, you name it, they drew it up for him. The Eagles aren't bringing him in to shake up the WR1 conversation. That's locked down by A.J. Brown, DeVonta Smith, and Jan Dotson. But that WR4 and WR5 battle, that's wide open. And let's talk measurables. Adai is only 5'8", 181 pounds, but don't let that fool you. The guy is a freak athlete, 40.5-inch vertical, over 11 feet on the broad jump, for .35 40-yard dash, elite shuttle, and 3 cone scores. He even threw up nearly 20 reps up to 125 on the bench, wild numbers for someone his size. He might not make the final 53, but he's a dark horse to sneak in if he shines in preseason. Special teams value, return game impact, and pure speed are all things that could keep him around. Meanwhile, Jan Dotson is settling into the offense much better this year. After being acquired late last season, he admitted he was playing catch-up the entire time. Now, after a full off-season and workouts with Jalen Hurts, he's feeling more confident. It showed toward the end of last year and in the playoffs, big plays, including the team's first offensive touchdown in the wild card round against Green Bay, and clutch grabs in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. With this latest signing and the WR depth in flux, we could see a surprise name make the roster. Elijah Cooks is having a strong camp. This marks the third consecutive day he's made highlight reel catches. Danny Gray and Terrace Marshall had strong starts to camp too, but with their injuries, the door's open. Anaya Smith and Johnny Wilson, they haven't done much yet. It's becoming clear that WR for WR6 is anyone's game, and then there's Avery Williams. If the Eagles decide to keep a designated returner, he could take a spot, which would shake up the numbers further. The bottom of that depth chart is turning into a dogfight, and preseason reps are going to matter a ton. On the injury front, some notable developments. Zach Bond missed practice with a back contusion, and Danny Gray is out with a finger issue. Safety Andrew Mukuba, the second-round rookie, missed his second straight practice due to a shoulder injury. DeVonta Smith is dealing with back tightness, and Nolan Smith suffered a concussion during the first padded practice. That's a rough blow, especially for a guy expected to be a key contributor on the edge. There are some limited participants too. Giad Campbell's shoulder, Yalen Carter's shoulder, Kem Jurgens' back, and Smail Mond in illness. They were in pads but limited in activity. The big positive on the health side, Kobe Dean, his recovery from a patellar tendon injury has been nothing short of remarkable. He got hurt in January. It's July, and he's already pulling sleds in practice. That kind of timeline is rare for this type of injury. Typically, you're looking at 12 to 16 months. Dean is out here moving close to full speed already. That's not just great news for the linebacker room, it's a testament to the work of this Eagles medical staff. This coaching staff, particularly under Nick Sirianni, since 2021, has kept this team healthier than it was in the latter Doug Peterson years. It shows. This unit is better conditioned, more consistent, and recovering faster. Now, about training camp practice number 5 is in the books, and let me tell you, the last 2 days have been brutally hot at the NovaCare complex. Real field temps close to 100 degrees. It got so bad the team had to move practice up by an hour to try to beat the heat. Still, Vic Fangio walked out there in a hoodie and sweatpants. When asked about it, he just said, "It's not hot." Classic Fangio, old school mentality. He might have been joking, but that attitude is contagious and it's clearly influencing. This defense. Jalen Hurts summed it up best. Fatigue makes cowards of us all. You can tell this team is embracing the grind. The defense continues to dominate. For the second or third straight practice, Fangio's unit got the better of the offense. And the standout, rookie linebacker Ja'Ad Campbell, with Baun out and Dean still recovering. Campbell has been running with the first team alongside Jeremiah Trotter Jr., and he's making the most of it. Campbell flashed sideline to sideline range when he blew up a run by Saquon Barkley, showing instincts and athleticism. He read the play, diagnosed it, and attacked. Later, he popped Dallas Goedert hard enough to drop him despite tackling technically being off limits. He apologized, but it was a statement. Campbell also showed improvement in one-on-one drills against running backs after struggling a bit the day before. He's a guy who wasn't even expected to be fully healthy by camp, but here he is, looking fast, physical, and engaged mentally. If this keeps up, Howie might have snagged another mid-round gem in the draft. With Nolan Smith sidelined, Josh Uch stepped in at edge. He had a sack against the second string and forced a fumble on Jalen Hurts, or at least disrupted the play, enough to cause it. That's exactly what you want from a rotational edge. Impact plays and limited reps. In the secondary, the cornerback battle is heating up too. Keely Ringo is back opposite Quinion Mitchell. Adoree Jackson had been getting those reps, but Fangio didn't hold back when asked about him. He straight up said it's telling that both the Titans and Giants moved on from Jackson when his contract was up. In other words, prove it. Jackson's had moments, but the Ringo battle is far from over. As for Jeremiah Trotter Jr., he's been steady and physical. He had a nice pass breakup in the end zone while covering Dallas Goedert. The red zone continues to be a point of concern, though the offense has struggled there consistently. Now I want to hear from you. With the Eagles adding Adai and the WR battle wide open, what's your take on who should make the final roster spots at that position? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Let's pick up right where we left off because this wide receiver race and the depth chart drama surrounding it are far from over. And when you factor in the potential special teams implications, it becomes even more layered. Let's be real, if Adai flashes his speed during preseason, especially in the return game, he could make Howie Roseman and Nick Sirianni pause for a second. If Avery Williams doesn't lock down that just said, "It's not hot." Classic Fangio, old school mentality. He might have been joking, but that attitude is contagious and it's clearly influencing. This defense. Jalen Hurts summed it up best. Fatigue makes cowards of us all. You can tell this team is embracing the grind. The defense continues to dominate. For the second or third straight practice, Fangio's unit got the better of the offense. And the standout, rookie linebacker Ja'Ad Campbell, with Baun out and Dean still recovering. Campbell has been running with the